What's up? Welcome back to Nowstalgia. Dave here with a review of Lewis Capaldi's second album, Broken by Desire to be Heavenly Sent. Yes, the Scottish singer is back with his first album since his debut back in 2019. Been a long time coming for this follow-up from Lewis, and I think most people should know Capaldi at this point because he is the creator, the singer of one of the biggest songs of the last 10 years. That would be, of course, Someone You Loved, approaching 2.8 billion streams on Spotify, the fourth most streamed song all time on Spotify. And it really can't be understated how big Someone You Loved is and was for Lewis Capaldi. Obviously, a Scottish singer coming up largely out of nowhere and then exploding with that song, which had a slow build to number one in the United States, but truly is a monumental song elsewhere in the world. It's platinum in the US, but also 15 times platinum in Australia, 8 times platinum in New Zealand, and 8 times platinum in the United Kingdom. Won the Brit Award for Song of the Year and was Grammy nominated for Song of the Year as well. Massive record. Massive record. And that album, that debut album, following Someone You Loved, which came out in 2018, that debut album, Divinely Uninspired to a Hellish Extent, that was the best-selling UK album, not only in 2019, the year it came out, but also in 2020 as well. Lewis Capaldi basically was the biggest artist in the UK in between like Ed Sheeran and Adele albums. Like that was the status he is holding, has been holding. And now you have the follow-up album. And I'm not going to pretend I was a Lewis Capaldi fan, but I think it's pretty undeniable that the guy has a tremendous voice and just incredible vocal strength and vocal talent. He is a really strong singer. And that was, of course, a big reason why Someone You Loved became so big. And now you have, the follow-up. And alongside this follow-up, there's been a Netflix documentary coming out about Lewis. He's gearing up for a world tour. A lot of hype has been put on this, at least by the industry. But unfortunately, I would say this second album is just a really safe playing of the hits, per se. It's really not ambitious or inspired in the sense of trying to do anything new for Lewis Capaldi. It's more or less doing the vibes you already expect from him. That seems to have been partially a label creative decision to go in that direction, to not try and reinvent the Lewis Capaldi wheel. And the results, because of how we're getting them, feel a bit uninspired. Now, I find that a bit disappointing because Lewis Capaldi is up there in terms of high-end vocalists. Surely this guy can do more than the thing he's already done before. But he doesn't seem to have been given a chance or had the motivation himself to try and push himself beyond what to expect from him. And to some people, that'll be enough because this will remind them of what they already liked about Lewis Capaldi if they were fans. So it's not to say that any of these songs are necessarily bad because he has such a great vocals that he can carry his songs on. But the thing is, it's a lot of just kind of that same vibe where he's either really low or really high. That's just how he sings, and that's how his songs have been made. They're either these sweeping choruses, these rapturous, notes, or they're these more milder ballads. And that's kind of all he knows how to make at this point, at least he's been given the chance to make. So, for me, with Broken by Desire to be Heavenly Sent, the moments where there's at least a feeling and inkling of something beyond the usual from Lewis Capaldi, that's where my ears perk up. That's where I get a bit more interested. I would say the lead single, Forget Me, that actually came out last year. That, I think, sounds great because, he just has that emotional, passion singing, and his Scottish, drawl sounds just really good. I love the raspiness of his voice. I think it's a really both unique voice as well, on top of how strong it is, obviously. Also with Heavenly, a heavenly kind of state of mind. Sorry, with Heavenly Kind State of Mind, like the kick drum on that song, like it's just a higher tempo than most of his other songs. That guitar line as well, like just really stands out. Um, the Pretender, perhaps the best song on the record. This acoustic guitar beginning, but then has a really awesome build, and the song gets a lot bigger. Um, Leave Me Slowly, right after that, has like a brief, but a guitar solo nonetheless, even if it's a brief one. But yeah, I think ultimately, like, it's just conceptually risk averse as a record and can feel repetitive. And just to me, it's a bit disappointing because the guy is clearly incredibly talented. He has found that success, and I wish he could feel more comfortable pushing himself, because I think a big part of this as well is Lewis Capaldi seems like a really likable guy, really active, gregarious, authentic social media persona, presence online, presence publicly, and contrast that with Lewis Capaldi uh, being diagnosed with Tourette's, something he's been battling. You know, there's a lot going on, and it's very clear from that Netflix doc and what's been said publicly that the pressure to follow up someone you loved in that first album and the imposter syndrome and all that is real. And now Lewis is gearing up for a world tour. I imagine that'll be incredibly successful, but I'm just hoping that perhaps the next record he strikes out to do something a little bit more, because clearly he's not like a flash in the pan type artist. He is that strong of a singer. So like I think we don't have to worry about that, and hopefully there's a bit more inspiration next time around. But let me know, how'd you feel about the Lewis Capaldi follow up? Are you as lukewarm as I am? Do you like it more than me? And for more music reviews, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.